And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, now when I talk to boys, I'm not even worried about being the only girl, because I know that's not gonna happen. So I'm just worried about being the favorite girl, you feel me?
This is the unit
Where
you saw,
are all the hot people? I was told that there would be all these attractive singles, and as far as I can tell, I'm the best looking person here.
Say we're gonna go see you when you graduate, when you get in that uniform. Say it'll be good times.
Aposhian is the victim.
We feel that there were failures on multiple levels here from the Air Force, from him being recruited to, the gun getting in the dorm.
Aposhian's father, Brian Murray, remembers speaking to his daughter about her breakup with Torres on June 1st. He says she confided in loved ones, claiming her boyfriend behaved aggressively. Hours later, the deadly shooting happened.
I think she was afraid to go to her supervisor for fear of retaliation, for retribution. I think there was, my daughter was one to not want people to be mad at her.
To be young, beautiful, and have everything going for yourself. Just to be let down at the hands of the people you call your peers, at the person you call your love.
Ladies, we can't be out here getting our feelings hurt by bench warmers, okay? He can't even get playtime on the field. What makes you think he can play you? Tell him to take his D2 dick to practice.
This is the tragic story of how one young woman's life was turned upside down, all at the hands of someone she had only known for 2 months. Welcome to BaasetCrimez. Remember to hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Natasha Raye Aposhian was born on December 15th, 1998 in Chandler, Arizona. For most of her young life, she would be an only child, so she would be prized by both her mother and father. At a young age, Tasha's parents would divorce. She would then go to live with her father, Brian, to which they would grow extremely close. This would include going on daddy-daughter dates, them just having an open and honest relationship with one another. Very healthy father and daughter relationship. Not perfect, but he clearly was a huge influence in her life and the decisions that she made. Tasha would go on to have a great childhood, excelling in school and doing things that average teenagers do, like getting her driver's license, being captain of the cheer squad her freshman year of high school. She was upset that she didn't make the varsity squad, but her dad reassured her that she would be great, and sure enough, she became the captain. Tasha would go on to do other normal things, such as go to both her junior and senior prom with her boyfriend at the time and some of her friends. Everything was great for Tasha. She had so much going for her. She graduated from high school with honors in June of 2017. It was a very proud moment for both herself and her parents. She was accepted into the University of Arizona in Tucson. Tasha would go off to college and have lots of new experiences, as well as make lots of new friends. According to her father, she would struggle academically her freshman year. She said college was a lot harder than high school. Around this time, Tasha's dad decided to remarry and start a new family. He said it was very hard for Tasha, growing up as an only child, now having to share her dad with a new woman. In the beginning, there were a lot of adjustments that needed to be made, but eventually, both women were able to come around. According to Tasha's dad, after the birth of Tasha's baby brother, it brought both women closer together.
Say we're gonna go see you when you graduate, when you get in that uniform. Say it'll be good times.
After about a year and a half of being at the University of Arizona, Tasha decided that she wanted to join the Air Force. In the beginning, her parents had their reservations, but that was because at the time she was on a partial scholarship. It took her almost a year to get in until she was fully accepted, due to all the strenuous tasks and requirements. At the end of it all, her parents were extremely proud of her for having the determination and setting her mind to achieving her goals. Tasha left to basic training on December 10th, 2019. She would eventually graduate with honors and awarded Commander's Excellence, which was considered a high achievement. In April of 2020, Tasha was stationed at the Grand Forks Air Force Base in Grand Forks, North Dakota. While there, Tasha was always dancing and joking on her social media platforms, which included TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram.
You are a dumb bitch. Maybe if you listened to your friends and did not catch feelings, you would be able to focus on your degree and not be such a weak whore. Stop looking at your phone. He did not text you back because you are ugly. Also, you walk too fast.
This is the unit
Where
you saw,
are all the hot people? I was told that there would be all these attractive singles, and as far as I can tell, I'm the best looking person here.
While at Grand Forks Air Force Base, Tasha would meet 20-year-old Julian Carlos Torres, who was from Texas. Julian was assigned to Grand Forks in December of 2019 and worked as an installation entry controller and was a part of the internal security response team. It was said that the two had a very brief romance. Tasha tweeted about someone being obsessed with her while she was at the base, as well as feeling the downs of the end of a relationship. It's not clear what happened between the two, but clearly there was bad blood. On the afternoon of May 31st, Tasha warned her dad that one of her peers was harassing her and trying to control her. But unfortunately, there would be nothing that her father could do to stop the evil. On the morning of June 1st, 2020, around 4 a.m., Julian would enter Tasha's barrack, start an argument with her, and then fatally shoot her. He would then go to turn the gun on himself, fatally wounding himself as well.
It's been more than a month since an airman from Chandler was shot and killed in a horrible act of domestic violence. The family of 21-year-old Natasha Aposhian is calling for changes. The shooting happened on a base in North Dakota, and now lawmakers are stepping in to address a problem that affects all of society.
Well, John, for Natasha Aposhian's family, it's all about transparency from the U.S. Air Force. They believe she is a victim of domestic violence and that more should be done to advocate for military members. A vigil in Grand Forks, North Dakota, in honor of Natasha Aposhian. She had just joined the Air Force for about 2 months before being shot and killed in a dorm. Another airman died, 20-year-old Julian Torres. There's no suspect at large, but officials confirm Aposhian is the victim.
We feel that there were failures on multiple levels here from the Air Force, from him being recruited to, the gun getting in the dorm.
Aposhian's father, Brian Murray, remembers speaking to his daughter about her breakup with Torres on June 1st. He says she confided in loved ones, claiming her boyfriend behaved aggressively. Hours later, the deadly shooting happened.
I think she was afraid to go to her supervisor for fear of retaliation, for retribution. I think there was, my daughter was one to not want people to be mad at her.
It's unfortunate that these entities have sort of a culture of fraternity in which whatever happens when you're in service does not get out, whether it's by a woman or a man.
Arizona State Rep Cesar Chavez is referring to the military. He's calling for an external investigation, asking the Department of Defense and Congress to look into Aposhian's death.
There's a lot that needs to be done. A reform needs to be brought forth, but this can only happen if we have the support by members of Congress.
A North Dakota lawmaker hosted this vigil, a sign of hope that Aposhian's story sparks change.
We're hoping, once the investigation is over and we are able to get the report that they do confirm that it is a murder-suicide.
And Murray says he actually spoke to the Air Force's Office of Special Investigations. He tells me that officials are calling this a homicide case, but it has not been reported officially yet. Reporting live, Justin Lum, Fox 10 News.
Tasha's funeral service was held on June 11th of 2020. The military was able to accommodate her family with any and every need that they had. The only thing that they wanted was answers and justice for their daughter. They wanted to know how he was able to bring a gun into the barracks, how he was able to pass a background check to join the military, along with a bunch of other questions.
Would like answered from the Air Force. The most, in terms of priority, is just how he was able to get this gun.
No weapon.
Yeah, how he was able to obtain this weapon. He was not on duty at the time. So this happened at the dorm where supposedly they are not supposed to have weapons. So we want to know how he got the weapon, if it was military issued, if it was a private gun that he owned. That's the biggest thing. We also want to know, we'd like to know his history. There had to be some red flags in his past. We want to know how he was able to get into the Air Force. So my daughter went through a gauntlet just to get in. It took her a year to get in. So we want to know what measures were in place to
hear him getting admitted to the Air Force.
Yeah.
The only thing we've really been told is that for sure it is being investigated as a homicide, but there's been no admission to a murder-suicide.
And you believe it is a murder-suicide?
Yes.
Hearsay, yes, we know.
Hearsay, yes. We know the details of how she died. Again, we're not going to go into the details until we actually hear the actual statement from the Air Force. You know, we first let me just say that the Air Force has been, as far as taking care of us, has been great. We've been more than grateful to everything that they have done to this point. You know, as far as the funeral and everything that goes along with that, we've had some of her members fly down for the funeral and so forth. So that has been fantastic. However, we still feel that we want to make sure that our fear is that they'll sweep this under the rug. We want to make sure that that they do acknowledge that this was a murder-suicide. To this point, they have not done that. The only statement that they've come out with has said who died and that there were no other suspects. So we want to make sure that that they do acknowledge what we already know, is that this was a murder-suicide that happened on U.S. soil.
And
Tasha's dad and family continued to advocate for her. There was rallies started around the world for Tasha. People wanted to seek answers as well as keep her memory alive.
The first complaint I got came from a customer, and she said that you called her a bitch.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. What I said was, your mother's a bitch. She called me a bitch first, so I said your mother's a bitch.
So you're verifying that you did call her a bitch?
No. No. I said her mother is the bitch. That's what I said.
While on the clock?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. She also said that you said you were going to beat her ass next week?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. What I said was, if she keep trying me, I'm going to beat her ass in 2 next week. It was Thursday. She was going to blink. It was going to be Wednesday. That's what I said.
Miss Savage, that's not even possible.
It would have been possible that day while I'm magic.
I dress cute. I smile at him. I even winked at him 2 times.
21-year-old Daisha Hurd, who was also in the Air Force, was sentenced to 100 days in jail for illegally purchasing the gun that killed both of them on May 5th of 2020. She claims he urged her to help him buy a firearm. In the state of North Dakota, you have to be at least 21 years old to purchase a firearm. Julian was only 20. Daisha said she paid $474 to get 50 rounds of ammo plus the weapon. She didn't think that he had ill intentions with the gun.
Put a finger down, Toxic Girl Edition. And be honest. Put a finger down if you've ever texted someone, "Sorry, I fell asleep." Put a finger down if you have white toes. Put a finger down if you've been called crazy. Put a finger down if you've said his new girl doesn't look better than you. Put a finger down if you've looked through his phone while he's asleep. Put a finger down if you texted 2 or more men at once. Put a finger down if you've ever started a sentence with, "I just find it funny how." Put a finger down if you've used him just for food. Put a finger down if you've ever entertained someone else because you're mad at your man. Put a finger down if more than one of your flings were at the same place. Put a finger down if you've ever messed with a DJ or promoter. Put a finger down if you've been accused of being manipulative. Put a finger down if you've ever cheated. And put a finger down if you are living your best life, despite how terrible you are.
Hopefully, Tasha's family is able to get some peace from this situation. Unfortunately, there is nothing that we can do to change the past. Situations like this are all too common in the military. Same thing that happened to Vanessa Guillen in April of 2020 when she was murdered in Fort Hood. Hopefully, the military will take better measurements to ensure the safety of their personnel. Stuff like this should not happen on the U.S. watch. Hopefully, Tasha's family can have some peace. She was a beautiful person inside and out and contributed so much to society. May her soul continue to rest in peace. Crime family, be safe and be blessed.